We're all gonna die at the end of the day. Alright, okay, thanks. I've been Don Consway. No, I'm just kidding, obviously, but we're all going to end up going in a less than spectacular fashion. Let's be completely honest. Not everybody's going to end up, going for a skydive in their parachutes and not going to deploy, and they're just going to go splat on the ground. Most of us, it's just going to be at night during the sleep. We don't wake up. Sucks to suck, but that's just life, okay? So we want to try to forestall that as long as humanly possible, okay? And knowing my familial lineage, I got a bunch of different demons that I'm just trying to keep, stuffed away in the closet for as long as humanly possible, okay? Cancer, diabetes, and today's topic, coronary heart disease. Yeah, I've had a fair few relatives, okay, on one specific side of the family, and I think on the other one as well. Yeah, the long and short of it is everybody just dies prematurely in my family. It sucks to suck, I guess, but you gotta play the hand that you're dealt, right? So try to forestall this as long as possible. So yeah, I'm going to probably end up catching a huge, massive heart attack. Not for a lack of trying to not make this happen. It's just the fact of life. So knowing any risk factors that are out there, I want all the arrows that I can stuff in my quiver, okay, in order to keep that beast at bay. How many times have we heard smoking, drinking, and being overweight warning in relation to heart disease? Yet, one of the longest running studies contradicts this. Oh, what? So you should start smoking, drinking, and being overweight? Interesting. In particular, risk factor is stress. Yeah, that's something else, okay? Because you always see, it's always caricatured, right? Like the big fat overweight guy with the big red face and just, somebody's face. Oh, he's so stressed. And then all of a sudden he grabs his chest and his fat ass just plunks down on the ground. You know what? Hey, we've always kind of thought this, but at least there's some science backing this up. I'm not going to run through everything. They've got so many bullet points here, not the comments. I could care less about the comments. We'll just go over this and then see if there's different ways at the end in order to, stop this from affecting you long term. Particularly the kind of stress found in specific personality types. Oh, wow, great woo-woo magical thinking. I love this story already. Type that processes anger in a particular way. Let me guess, if you internalize it, if you're very high in negative emotions and retention. So basically, if you're a woman, the Framingham Project is a quintessential epidemiological population study with more than 14,000 people across 3 generations. And a key piece, the lifestyle advice hidden in the 1980s analysis, is the final cohort. You feel guilty if you use free time to relax? Yeah, I just work a lot, okay? I don't like just lying down and doing nothing. It bothers me a lot. Ask yourself these type A identifier questions and check whether you also process stress in these same ways. The stress management protocol is a key driver of coronary heart disease. Cool. Maybe we'll go through that. I'll find it in this article here. Physically, anger leads to catecholamine release, which has a host of cardiovascular repercussions in fight mode. The liver synthesizes triglycerides to boost energy and get more fat in your bloodstream. I can understand. Okay, this is starting to make sense. Which in turn contributes to lipid disorders. Yes, lipid is fat. For those of you who don't know, now you know. If this is you, there's still no need to be fatalistic. There are behavior patterns that we train and change, and the changes start small. Rome wasn't built in a day after all, but it did fall as soon as people started butt fucking. So, all right, jumping ahead. So how do you treat harmful side effects of type A personality patterns? We know that it's going to end up facing it, okay? Saved everybody a whole lot of laborious reading there, or at least listening to me drone on and just kind of crack sideways jokes of the fact that, yeah, unhealthy people are going to have heart attacks and die. Imagine that. A 1991 paper, just about as old as I am, published in the European Journal of Personality by Hans Isaac, a PhD from the University of London, when that used to mean a damn, examined the type A personality type risk further. Isaac's analysis of the data included anger, aggression, and hostility, connecting to cardiovascular health disorders. Physical risk factors made him hopeful for psychological intervention. There are 2 classes of disease, bodily and mental. Each arise from the other. Neither is perceived to exist without the other. Mental disorders arise from physical ones, and likewise physical disorders arise from mental ones. Very nice circular logic you have there, Doc. You should write a book about that. Yo, we got a dong on the case here. Not me, I'm Don, but we have a Don with a G, a dong. Another doctor, Chinese feller, I'd imagine, listed 3 studies to help the ways to reduce a type A, an alpha male. Okay, listen, I don't want to use that terminology. It's kind of cringe if we're just unironically using it, but it's a placeholder term. Would you rather me say a dominant, assertive male at all times? No, we'll just go with alpha for right now, so bite me. Who have crossed the line into angry and hostile behaviors. Number 1, whoosh, be more appreciative. If we change our views of others, we can be less competitive, but more grateful, she said. I'm not taking advice from a woman. Change your environment, Dong said. Type A's are all about being in control. Try being passive for a day. If you're triggered to anger, move your focus away from negative emotion, like I'm going to do with this checklist right now. Participate in mindfulness meditation. A review published in Springer Science, researchers examined studies on the effects of mindfulness meditation. Yeah, no, exactly. You're less stressed. You're not going to die of a heart attack. Imagine that. Can people change those parts of themselves that harass them, that may wreak havoc on their hearts? Latest science says yes. In the words of Roman philosopher Lucius Seneca, if you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Perhaps your heart is worth it. Yeah, no, exactly. Stop internalizing stress. Stop being emotionally vulnerable, which you're going to hear from a lot of idiots that are out there that think, oh, in a man, I just want him to be in touch with his emotions. You know who else are in touch with their emotions? School shooters. You want to be that? No. Be dominant. Be assertive in everything that you do, including internalizing and expressing your emotions. Walk everything through perfectly. You as best as you can when it comes to perfectly, okay? Employ the triune mind theory, the way that men and women process the different stimuli that come into their life, okay? As a man, I've went over this a bunch of different times, but we'll just focus on the men's side of this specifically, okay? You react to your stimuli via your instinct to begin with. If somebody's throwing something at you, you'll immediately dodge out of the way. That's the way that men handle things. And then from there, they process what that was, where it came from, and how they can best sort through that. And then finally, going through their emotions, understanding the situation. Men are beings of action first and foremost. They aren't about how does that feel? Sure, there's a large subsection of idiots that have been feminized to think that way, and yeah, if they all die of heart disease, I don't think anybody's going to really shed a tear. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.